Hi everybody, and welcome to video 3 in our Autumn Fairies series. Now our triple thick is dry. It's dry on me too. And so we've got it on the wings, and oh, I should have put it on the pumpkin. I mean the wings here. So I'll have to do that afterwards so that it can dry. And you know, we could probably do it on the butterfly on here. Okay. Once you start doing it, then you got to do it on everything. So on here, this turned out really well with the glaze on the butterflies. I wish I had backed these with cardboard. It's too late to take them off now. Because we've glued this page down. So we're just going to have to kind of live with it. This one turned out exceedingly well. Couldn't get the word out. All I did was glaze the pumpkins on the flap. Then I put the word pumpkin on here, and I raised it up with a little piece of cardboard underneath, and I put the glaze on twice and let it dry. And then we glazed our pumpkins up here. Now, from now on, now that you've seen how the glaze works, I'm not going to make you sit and watch me paint, you know, glaze on everything. All right, I'll come back and do it after we film, and then because I'm going to have to let each thing dry as we do it. I probably won't glue the pages in the book until I've glazed them and it has dried. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you how I did this on this. You probably already know, but you never know. So I took the word fairy and I inked it. And now I'm going to take a little piece of this cardboard and I'm going to measure it to where it's a little bit shorter and a little bit narrower. That might be too narrow. You don't want the edge of it to be able to be tipped, you know, squeezed under or squeezed around. So I've saved, this is lightweight chipboard, or this is lightweight chipboard, this is medium chipboard, this is a cereal box, this is paper from a file folder cover. So there's lots of different things you can use, different thicknesses and things like that. You can even use manila folder, you know, double it up like you do when you're making the circles for the closures. You can use that. It just depends on how high up you need it to be. You don't want it to be too high up. You're better off layering 2 or 3 things on a page. You know, like let's say layering I have to let that dry for a minute because I put too much glue on there. Let's say layer this page and then layer some of the butterflies and then layer the word. Do you see what I mean? So now, do I want to put fairy? I was going to put it here. But I kind of like it up here. No, it looks better down here in the center. Okay, so that's where we're going to glue it, and then I'll put the triple thick on it. I'll just go back through and put it on everything that needs to be. Okay, so we've got little roots coming down, so I'm going to try to kind of center the word. They're not exactly even, but I'm going to use them as a guide to try to kind of get it in the middle of this. And I'm pretty sure I like it there. Okay, so we'll just let that dry. Now we're going to go on to page 4 and 5, or pages 4 and 5. Maybe I'll put here to remind me that I need to put some glaze on. And what was I going to put on here? I was going to put something on here. I was worried about raising it up because of the magnet. I don't think it's going to be a problem because the magnet is a mil thick. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to put this here, pointing at what I need to put the glaze on. Hopefully that will remind me. This is all done. So we can go on to 4. You know what I should do? I should do this while we're doing this so that it can dry. Didn't want to get the paintbrush ooky. I'm not going to. Because I can set this to the side and let it dry while I do the pages and let them set aside to dry before I glue them in. That's what I'll do. Okay. So now on this page, we're going to do excuse me. Oz, get away from the door. Thank you. Alright, hopefully that worked, but maybe not. Okay. Oz, get away from the door. 3. Alright. Sorry about that, real life. Kind of bugging in on our video. Didn't want to go through all the hassle of pausing and all that and waiting for it to start back up and everything, just because the dog was barking a little bit. This is going to be our paper. I've got this. It fits perfectly in here. And then we're going to glaze it. And I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure we'll use a 1-inch hole punch and punch out a piece to raise that up before we glaze it. I'm going to try to do some 3D work in this book. Never really done it before. Janet was showing me what it looked like. So I think I'm going to leave this paper clipped here. Let's go ahead and do it. Oh, I was like, where's my 1-inch punch? And that's the one that looks different. Okay. Okay, this is thinner craft paper, which is good because it doesn't need to be raised up very high. We don't want to interfere with our closures. I'm pretty sure it'll be fine. since we are going to put 2 across here, and so they'll have their own 2 magnets, and I think this will be fine, especially because we're not doing very much. And I've inked this. Could have done even bigger, but 1.5 was too big. Okay. Yeah, this isn't big enough. Let's see if I have about 1.5. That'll work. I'm going to go ahead and ink it because you might see it just a little bit. And I'm just going to go 1 thickness because then we've got the thickness of the paper as well. So it's going to be just a smidge inside. Okay, yeah, that looks better. Okay, so we'll let this sit here for just a second. Okay, so now I want to look at this because I want to make 2 flaps. And so first of all, let's score this at 1/2 inch. So we can measure from the score line. We won't need the whole length, but we'll have it. So now I want to cut this . I know it's going to fit because we have plenty of room, because we're going to cut this off. I'm going to make the top flap have this, and I want the bottom half to have that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this right above the fairy wings. It might take off a little bit of those letters, I'm not sure. It ended up being right in half. There was a little pattern right there, and a little bit above the wings. Was very close to the center of this, so I went ahead and did the center. I just took a little bit off the word of London. Now, I don't want the pieces to go the width of the page. Well, I guess I do. In order to make enough room for what I want to do, don't want to leave them half and half. So I'm going to trim this one a little shorter, about 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to cut this one a little shorter without taking this off. In fact, I'm going to do it from here. I'm going to go up to the bottom of the stems. And that's about 1/4 of an inch. They're close to being the same. It's okay that they're not. I want to keep these if I can. So now, first of all, we don't want the extra little border on this paper to distract us. So first we're going to cut this strip off the top, that little 1/4 of an inch, so we don't get confused by it. Now we've got our score line. And we're going to make our little border. An 1/8 of an inch and an 1/8 of an inch, and that'll put that 1/4 back on. Okay, this one's gonna go here. And we'll do our little border. They're going to be the same width. And I'm going to cut off a little bit down here. I think that will work. So let me cut the width first. And that will give us this better scrap to work with. Then we'll cut it in half at the line. And we'll cut that 1/8 off the bottom. Now this is for the bottom piece, which is really the top piece. perfect. Okay. Oh wait, maybe not perfect. Well, it has to be, because we cut part of it off the top. Yes, that's fine. Okay, so there's a little bit of a pencil mark. I thought there was one on this one too. Okay, this is for this one. We're going to ink this with the brown. We're going to ink this with the rusty hinge. This pad is very wet compared to the other one. You don't need very much at all. Okay. And we'll glue this on here. Almost seems a little big. And that one seems a little big as well. I think I'm going to glue it on and then trim this top just a smidge, 1/16 or so. Okay, now remember this is the top half of the page. Well, no, it's still a little big, so I'm going to bring it back down. I'm going to trim that little bit off. Still isn't quite enough, is it? There we go. And that's for the top. Ink this one up. This with the brown. I like this image. And of course we'll have to glossy up the butterflies. And the fairy on the back of the bottom. And I'm not going to glossy or triple thick the wings on this one. I don't know though, maybe I should. Put a little bit of a shimmer. Now the glue's finally coming out. Tree of Life was making me crazy. And I think this one ended up being a little tall as well. Yeah. Okay, now we're going to take this paper and we're going to put it on the back of these. And we're going to keep the top and the bottom by just taking part of the middle out. So this is the bottom. This is the top. Okay, so let's do the bottom first. Oh, that's too short. And then we'll line this top up. And we'll cut it at the bottom. And that should give us, whoops, the top. Okay. Put that away. Ink both of these. And that'll give us some writing area on the back. Oh, magnets. Phew. Almost forgot. So if you're wondering about the magnets, I don't think I've said this in a while. They're 10 millimeters around and 1 millimeter thick. So when you go to look for them, you're going to look for 10 mm times 1 mm batteries, magnets, and then that will bring you the correct ones. Let's see if our glue is still wet. It just isn't wet enough to slide, is it? Let's put some more glue on here to make sure it sticks. I can't believe I almost forgot the magnets. I mean, we have circles, so we could have put them on, but boy, I really didn't want to. Okay, so this is the top one. Now let's see, now that I turned them, bring it down just a little bit. It looks like this corner could use a little drop of glue. Make sure no glue is seeped up there. Make sure that it closes. It's going to be pretty. And let's ink this one. Started at the top. Okay. It's so hot in here. It's like 85 degrees outside. When it was 62, I had the doors open, the fan on, and yeah. Cooled everything down. Then I got cold. Don't ask, I got cold. Always cold almost. Then I got warm. Once I got warm and once I got cold and turned the fans off, that was my mistake right there. Then it really started warming up, and it started warming up quickly because the air wasn't circulating anymore. Yep. And now it is warm. We've only got 20 minutes. I think I'll go ahead and just make this a little bit shorter video. And then we'll get 2 done in the next video. Okay. So I'll figure out what to do for page 6. Okay. And see, these ended up a little bit wider as well. So it's fine. I think we're going to put charms on them. I've ordered some amber and the gold leaves charms from Temu, so they'll be here within the next 6 days. I've got to work on my design team project for Line Data Arrow. In between working on this is due after that, and that's going to be Challenge Your Art. I'm going to be using the kit Signed, Sealed, Delivered and Signed, Sealed, Delivered add-on. Signed, Sealed, Delivered is a bunch of really cool ephemera that affiliated with postage and stamps and stuff like that, and postcards and all that kind of stuff. Now I'm not going to glue this down because I've got a lot of glossy accents to do. And so you want to make sure and go back and watch that. The challenge for the month for August is not a weekly challenge, it's a monthly challenge this time. And the Challenge Your Art just means challenge yourself. We're not going to give you example videos this time. And there's not going to be any freebies distributed every week. And you can either use one of the 2 kits, because the add-ons is more pages and the kit is more ephemera, And so you can use one or both of those. And then you could use your own papers as well and challenge yourself. Now, if you're watching this in September, it's obviously too late to be in the draw. But the videos are going to all be great, and the images are going to be great. So you're going to want to go to Line.Arrow, Junk Journal Group, Two Sisters Jam Junk Journal Group, Savage Art Junk Journal Group, Sweet Pea Papers Junk Journal Group, and Junk Journal Tutorials and More Facebook group to get all the different images and entries and videos and such that people make. So there's my plug for the month before. Okay, all right, we're going to leave that as it is. That's going to be page 4. And then next time we'll do 5 and 6 at least. And I will see you in that video. Okay, thanks a lot for hanging out. Bye-bye.